Hi, I am Mary Wu, and I know a lot about LinkedIn. I'm here to give you a quick introduction to LinkedIn, especially if you're not using it or if you haven't used it for a while. First thing that most people ask is, why do I need to be on LinkedIn? And you may not be. If you are very happy with the results that you're getting from however you're reaching out to people, if you're happy with your networking, if you're happy with your email list, if you're happy with the results you're getting on other social platforms, if you're have got a great check balance, and if you're making the right connections, then bye, you don't need to see this. However, if you want to know how to take advantage of the 950 million people that are on the world's largest business networking platform, stay tuned. I have a few things to drop at you. And the first thing we're going to start with is where we begin on LinkedIn. I'm going to do a screen share and show you some things you might want to know. The first thing you start with is your profile. And this is what people see when they look at you. If they're following you around, this is what they'll see. And what do we got here? We have an image up here, a banner photo. I love to see this if it expresses your business. One thing interesting that I've seen is I've seen a speaker where they will have their image at the front, and all the way through they'll have an entire audience of people watching it. I love to see that for speakers. There's other things I've seen for other people. For an example, for portrait photographer or headshot photographers, I've seen in here a lot of different images of photos they've taken. There's a lot of ways to use that, and think about how you want it to appear to people that are looking at you. I am always loving to talk to people about how to improve that. Your photo over here should look like you do today. My favorite thing that I like to say for the photo is, if somebody's walking to meet you in a coffee shop and all they have to go by is that photo, it should look like you do. They should be able to recognize you. Sometimes they might be a year or two old. Maybe you can consider freshening them up. But if you've got a distinctly different hairstyle or hair color, guys, if you decided you're going to either have or not have facial hair and it's opposite of what's in your profile, make sure to get that image updated. This may not seem important, your name, but it actually is very important. If you lose your account, LinkedIn will want to see a government ID that verifies that you are the person that owns this account. So they will want those two IDs to match. You can't have a completely different thing than might show up on your passport or on your ID. Yes, they do give a little wiggle room for, I have my maiden name in parentheses, and on my driver's license, it shows as my middle name. They'll give wiggle room for that. They'll probably give some wiggle room for Mikes and Michaels. But that's about all they give. Also, they do not allow the use of emojis in names. I've seen a lot of people do that. It draws attention. Sometimes having a character at the beginning of a name will make the bots unhappy and they'll have harder time finding you. But you'll make LinkedIn more unhappy. And I know people that have lost their accounts because of this and had to fight to get it back. You don't want to lose access to your LinkedIn account if it's a place where you're using some of those people to make some money. Next thing we like to look at is right here. Mine may be a little too long. The headline. One of my LinkedIn buddies suggests that you think about this as if somebody's driving past a billboard, maybe on the Autobahn, they're going past at 80 miles an hour. How much can they pick up? And that's about what you want to have, especially in the first 40 characters. The first 40 characters are also what follows you if you're doing comments on other people's posts. those will be in there. So somebody will see your name and those first few characters. So make sure that those will really hit what somebody wants to do. Founder, CEO, president, sometimes that's not as important as hitting a little bit more specific to what you do and less a general ID. You can put the general title in later, just not right at the front. Another thing, this is new this year. LinkedIn has allowed you to get verification with a government ID in the US, Canada, and India. I think those are the only countries that are currently, as of October 2023, that have ID verification. Other ones are being added on all the time. There's a few reasons you might want to do this. Right now, you can only do it using your phone, and you'll have to have your government ID ready to take a picture of. Why you want to do this? I really encourage anybody who is working with people where you're getting confidential information from them, like a bank account if you're in finance or if you're in mortgage. It gives you just that little bit more trustworthiness because you're a verified person. Also, we have all seen people whose accounts have been duplicated. This means that this particular account has had my government ID attached to it. So if somebody decides to duplicate this account, please, dear Lord, hopefully they will not have my ID and I will have it on me and I will not have lost it. It is very hard to get that government ID verification unless they've got the government ID. So think about doing this. It gives you a little bit more security. And the only other thing I'm going to talk about in this introductory video is one of my favorites. If you go down here, there's a featured section. You can put links, you can put posts, you can put videos, you can put documents, but have a few things in your featured section that you really want to jump out at people. I have got an introductory video in here. I've got a post, I change that often, and I've got my speaker one sheet. The great thing about this is you can flip them around if you want to bring a bigger priority to things. On a desktop, typically it's the first 3 things in the featured section that somebody will see without scrolling. On a phone, it is typically the first 2. So make sure you prioritize those. Somebody who has more interest can scroll through and see what the other featured items are. But make sure you've got the ones that you want most at the front. That's all for this introductory video. Keep an eye on my website for future videos that will dive deeper into other sections of LinkedIn, or check the comments below this video for ways to find me. Have a fabulous time, and if you have any questions, reach out. I am not the hardest person to find. You can actually find me right on LinkedIn. Have a great day, and I will talk to you later. Bye.